From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBIC, the PrimeTime Capper, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I know I've been away for a bit and everything like that. I'm dealing with some personal family issues and things like that, but it's all good. It's all good. We have to keep moving. We got to keep going. We got to keep striving. But, baby, you know what? We're going to have some positivity here for the next 30 or so minutes and everything like that. So, let's go ahead and talk about sports in a real way. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of BS going on in the sports world right now. But we don't have to get all into that. Let's just get to the root of things. You know what I mean? Because we get tired of the little gossipy columns and things like that. Sports has become such a soap opera, but it's okay. We still love betting the game, and that's what you showed up for, right? So let's go ahead and jump into our first topic in hand, and that's going to be NBA opening night. NBA opening night. Start off with some familiar faces with the Celtics and 76ers, two arch rivals going at it, and the Lakers and the Warriors, battle of the Bay and the Battle of Hollywood. So pretty much we have the dynasty, the champs, the Warriors, and then you have the Lakers, the old guard as well too. So last night was pretty fun. So let's go ahead and talk about first, and then I'm talking about NBA opening night because we got 12 more games today with pretty much the whole NBA. Only team that's off tonight, I think, is going to be the Clippers, who are going to be starting their season a little bit later than everybody else, which will start on Thursday in their opener against the Lakers. So what do we have here? We have ourselves the Celtics, and the Celtics win last night, 126-117 over their arch rival, the 76ers, to start the season without head coach Udoka. I think that last night showed us that this team is going to be pretty good moving forward this year. The Celtics still have, I would say, the best duo in basketball with Tatum and Brown, and then they still have probably the best supporting cast behind that as well too. And then they play really good defense, but last night it did not show. But Philadelphia, they were all in it. I think that a lot of teams are very rusty from a very lackadaisical and short preseason as well too. I think the NBA season is getting started a little bit too early. I'm used to the NBA starting on Halloween and things of that nature. Give these guys some time to get a break. They just got done with the playoffs and the finals and things like that. So I wouldn't expect Boston to start off with the greatest start of them all. I wouldn't expect the 76ers either to do that. So, at the end of the day, it will be some good action going on in the NBA early, but there's going to be some teams that are going to be that will fool you as well too here. But last night we go through the stats. Well, Jason Tatum had a night last night. This was the type of night where, hey, this is why they're paying him the big bucks. And Tatum pitched in his part as well too with a big game. I'm talking about Brown. I'm sorry, but we had Jaylen Brown. 35 for Jaylen last night, 35 for Tatum last night. So that gave them 70 points alone of the 126 points that they scored overall. And then they got a good effort from their bench as well last night. They got 16 from Brogdon. They got 15 from Grant Williams. So that was 31 from those guys. So pretty much that's what sealed the deal for them last night. They didn't need too much from Al Horford. He only had 6 points, and both of those were from 3-pointers as well too. And then you had Devin White. You had White last night. He did the little things, Derek White. So yeah. All in all, they were pretty good last night. James Harden had a quiet 35 with 8 rebounds, 7 assists. I haven't heard anybody give any props out. Now, if he would have had 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, we would have been – he's over the hill. He's washed up. He needs to go. He needs to be sent to Delaware somewhere. So, no, he comes up big, but it was pretty crazy though last night. They had themselves 3 scorers that got at least 20 plus points last night and still wound up losing. Their starting 5 was very good last night, except for PJ Tucker. But you don't expect much from PJ Tucker, so it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah. Joel Embiid, 26 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. 6 turnovers, though. That was detrimental to the team. And then you had Harden with his 35 last night, and then you had Maxey get his 21. So, and Tobias Harris chipped in 18. And these guys played majority of the game last night as well, too. So, and having Montrezl Harrell, they didn't get much out of him, but they'll get more out of him as the season goes along. So, there it is. The Celtics win. Easy peasy for them. A good win in front of the Boston crowd and everything like that. I know that they didn't have a big raise the banner up for the Eastern Conference Championship celebration last night. So, we don't have to worry. So, it was really, I know Boston fans are very, 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 very tired of not winning a championship. You know what I mean? They've had one championship since 1986. And that's absolutely dreadful because Boston has never went that long without a title. You know what I mean? They won the title back in 2007. And it's like, wow, you had to wait 21 years. Now you've literally had to wait another 16. It's 15 years to try to get another championship. It's just, wow. It's a long ways away from the old Celtics days. So there it is. Now, this one right here is probably going to be one that's going to – I'm glad I just took my blood pressure pill because this one's probably going to raise it up just a little bit. And that's the state of the Lakers. The Lakers get romped last night, and the Lakers lose 123-109. Is it already time to panic? No, it is not. It is the first game of the season, Laker fans and the Laker haters. You guys have to understand, LeBron is – my age. I'm 38. LeBron will be 38 at the end of the year. And he's playing phenomenal basketball. He's one of the top scorers in the league last night as well, too. Out of the, four teams that played, he dropped 31 points last night. He had 14 rebounds, 8 assists. He's 37, y'all. 37-year-olds don't do this in the NBA. They're just really like the old man out there that tells you, hey, man, it's going to be all right. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But no, LeBron's out there still kicking butt, still out there doing his thing. He didn't play great defensively last night. I'll be honest with you about that part. But, it ain't LeBron's job to be the top defender. It's LeBron's job to get them wins, and that's what he does is score points. I think that the Lakers just have to – they have to realize that they have to put some players around him, some good players around him, but they're so cash strapped they can't do that. Bringing on Westbrook's contract pretty much ruined whatever title runs or whatever playoff runs the Lakers are really realistically looking at. But I'm not going to blame Westbrook. I'm not going to blame AD because I'm looking at the stat line right now. That group right there scored 77 points. The Lakers as a team scored 109. All right. And after that, the only double-digit scorer was Kendrick Nunn, who came off the bench. So why is Pat Beverly starting? And why is Kendrick Nunn not starting? And Austin Reeves came in last night, played some defense. This Matt Ryan guy, I think that's more of a story than anything. That's more of a Rudy-type situation. The Lakers did give him some playing time last night. I know they said that he had a really good three-point shot, but I think that the Lakers are just auditioning him at this point. They just couldn't fill that spot with he beat out whatever players they had going for that spot. I think the Lakers really honestly are going to probably get rid of this guy in about a week or two to go ahead and get an actual good NBA veteran who they can really, really trust. And I'm going to keep it real with you, man. Juan Toscano Anderson, this was like the Lakers' biggest signing this summer, and that's awful. You know what I mean? Because this guy was more about just hanging out with the Warriors last night. Like, bro, you play for the Lakers, and he got way more time with the Lakers last night than I saw him with the Warriors at any point last season, and he did absolutely nothing. He got 4 rebounds. That's it, 2 turnovers. And a skirmish with Jordan Poole, and then a big smile with them afterwards. So I think that the Lakers were just a little bit too chummy and a little bit too submissive to the Warriors last night. So they were never going to win that game. And I think the Lakers need to fix that immediately. Darvin Ham was supposed to be, with all the hype around Darvin Ham being the Lakers' new head coach, I saw absolutely nothing last night to impress me upon that. Is he better than Vogel? You know what I mean? Because Vogel wasn't that great, but you know one thing about Vogel had a resume, and I just think that he couldn't just get across to the players because it's just tough to coach LeBron, bro, dude, and everybody knows that. So you know, you just got to deal with it. You got to deal with the situation at hand. You got to deal with everybody just putting the pressure on the Lakers. Nobody wants to see the Lakers do well. And so with them losing the way that they did last night, you know, everybody's going to say they can't shoot. They can't. Well, let me give you a stat. The Lakers went 10 for 40. That's 25% from the three-point line. But the funniest thing is the Warriors shot up 45, only hit 16 of them. So, you know, I just think that all in all, both teams, it was just low percentage shooting on both sides. The Lakers, 40 for 93, but as you can see, most of those bricks came from shooting threes. So pretty much the Lakers need to fix this quickly, and they can. They just need to become a team that plays really good defense and gets the best possible situations on the offensive end. And that means getting easy buckets. So to get easy buckets, you got to play better defense. Lakers had 12 steals last night, forced 18 turnovers as well, too. You like that in the stat book going into the next game. They only got beat in the rebounding department by 1. And, you know, you will want to see a little bit more assist, a little bit more passing, a little bit more crispiness from the Lakers. But once again, they don't know each other. So we're going to see how this goes with the Lakers and see how it shakes out. But they got another game Thursday night for me to talk about with the Clippers. I'll have a full preview for you tomorrow. So you guys make sure to tune in for that. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a very quick commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to go ahead and jump into the NFL, a little bit of NFL talk and everything like that. And then after that, we'll jump into your favorite topic after we talk some boxing. And we'll jump to your favorite topic, talking tickets. So you guys make sure to stay tuned in. Make sure you're sharing this. Whatever you got to do, let's get this thing up. If you got some comments and things like that, go ahead and leave them. I'll go ahead and I'll even answer your questions as we do the show. All right. So with that, I'll be right back. And this is the PrimeTime Angles live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back with the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, and boy, oh boy, we have ourselves a very, very intriguing situation going on. We have a 6-0 Eagles team, the only undefeated team in the NFL right now, and I know that their fans are beyond excited about that, ecstatic about their Eagles. Now, the Eagles right now, they're 4-2 against the spread, and they've been the favorite in every single game this season as well, too. Even the Cowboys game that they just recently played in as well. So, you know, I think that we have ourselves a very good start to the season. But I heard somebody say that they're going to go 15-2. With the NFL adding that extra game and the way that injuries pile up, nobody's probably going to ever go 15-2 again unless they have like the ultimate team. The Eagles aren't a 15-2 team at all. You know what I mean? Let's just get that out the way, okay? Reason why I say this is because the Eagles only played 2 teams with winning records. I know it's only 6 weeks in, but the other 4 wins that they do have are against teams that are literally low tier, seriously, right now. And they're teams that will probably not make the playoffs. Now, Minnesota, that's a good win because that team was 5-1, but that was week 2. The Cowboys, that was a good win as well, too, but they didn't have their quarterback either. And I know that's no excuse because Cooper Rush has been playing so good, but really Cooper Rush has been relying on the Cowboys defense and doing enough as a game manager to win those football games. So if they had Dak, they could get the little bit of extra that they needed to go ahead and combat this Eagles team. The Eagles to me, they're playing really good defense, but they're playing against teams that have offenses that aren't that good at the end of the day. Now, they do have a bye this week, and I know and a lot of people are going to be very mad this week as well, too, because there's a lot of winning teams that are going to be off this week. The Bills are off as well, too. The Vikings are off, and the Rams are off, who are 3-3 right now in a 3-way tie for the NFC West. But let's focus in on the number 1 team in the NFC, and that's going to be these Philly. And Philly is Philly, they're 5-0 against their conference as well, too. So they're taking care of their business against the NFC. All right. And I'm looking at their scores now. They've had 2 games where their games were very, very they were out here. What's that question? Yeah, but I was just reading a question right now that I seen. Well, I know I'm not talking about LeBron and crew anymore, but yeah, I think that possibly, a trade can be made. But at the end of the day, the Lakers probably need to trade all 9 of those guys that came in after them last night. Kendrick Nunn was fine, but the rest of them is like, just get them out of here because don't nobody know who them people are. Seriously, like I've never seen, like even when the Lakers were bad, they still had some names on the bench. Who are these people? Like seriously, who are they? Lakers weren't even an entertaining watch in the preseason. But let me stay on topic. Let me talk about the Eagles. The Eagles are just really, really, they're the flavor of the week. And I think that, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just the Eagles are going to get a lot of hype because the Eagles have one of the stronger fan bases in the league. They're an East Coast team as well, too. And I just think that, man, it's going to be a very, very entertaining season. And when I heard 15-2, I said, man, we're going to have to talk about this today. The reason why I say this team is not going 15-2, because I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. They could possibly lose when they play Pittsburgh next week. You know what I mean? When they come back around after their bye. They got a game in Houston. That's a game that's going to be overlooked. That's going to be a tough game because they're going to Houston, and Houston's played really tough at home. Then you have Washington in a rematch game. In a rematch game. And they dominated Washington, but Washington's second time around is always better in these spots, especially in the division. Indianapolis could be a tough game because they have to go there. Then I'm looking at the Green Bay game. That's going to be a game where a lot of people are going to hedge up on Green Bay because they know that, pretty much the Eagles are going to have that much more hype coming into the game. And Tennessee's a loss. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think Tennessee comes in there with the running game, the defense, and they actually go in there and beat them. The Giants, that's something that's going to be a little tricky. You got to see where the Giants are going to be at that point. They're a 5-1 team. And then Chicago, this is another game that they should win. Dallas is going to be a tough game on Christmas Eve. Also, they have a game on New Year's Day against New Orleans. That it depends on who's going to be New Orleans quarterback at the point. And then the Giants at the end of the season, which could be the game to settle who's going to win the NFC East as well, too. You never know. So are they hype or are they legit? At this point, I think they're legit. But they're not legit to go undefeated. They're not legit to go 15-2, but I will give them 13-5. Is that right? 13-4. Sorry about that. But I'll give them 13-4, maybe 12-5, because this NFL is not built for teams to dominate like that anymore, in my opinion. The NFL is just not like that anymore. There's just too much competition. It's too many good teams. It's just not going to happen like that. All right, so let's go ahead, jump into our next topic at hand. And that's gonna be this right here is going to be with Josh Allen MVP run as the Bills are atop the AFC. The AFC has 7 teams right now with 3 wins or better. And that's pretty crazy because just like last year, it's a real log jam on who's going to make the playoffs on the bottom end and who's going to make the playoffs, literally, period. It's like only 2 spots are very solidified. That's going to be the Bills and the Chiefs. But the Chiefs still have to win their division. But that division is looking easier and easier every week for them to win because they don't really have that much competition. The Raiders, we'll talk about them in a moment, but you don't see much coming from the Chargers because they're 4-2, but it's like, you know what's going to happen with them. You know, they're 4-2 now. Then they'll go ahead and lose 2 in a row. Then win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, and then maybe make the playoffs. So you got that option. And the Broncos, I don't know. The Broncos seem like a team that's getting kicked around a lot. And when you keep getting kicked around, sometimes you stand up and you fight back. And I think Russell Wilson has some fight in him. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know a lot of people don't like him because he's not a thug. He's not, he's not getting arrested. He's not spitting on women. He's not jacking off at pools. He's not doing any of that fun stuff. He's just being a square, right? So, they can't see, they don't like the Carlton Banks aspect that he's kicking for us, So I love it. I respect it. But I think that a lot of people are just on Russell's head because he got paid. And why didn't he deserve to get paid at the end of the day? He won us a lot of money over the last decade or so in Seattle. He was a go-to guy. So let's not play that game with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is out there with a bunch of guys he doesn't know. And at some point, the receivers got to be accountable as well, too. But Josh Allen is special. And I know I'm saying this because he's my fantasy quarterback and we 6-0. But this guy is special in a real way. And I'm telling you right now that this guy is going to make some really, really good is going to make some really good. This is like, I thought he was going to be Kelly, but really, oh man, this guy's even better. This guy could, at the end of the day, this guy could be the best quarterback in Buffalo Bills history. And he could be the guy that delivers probably the most significant NFL title of them all, other than the Green Bay Packers would, because you have to look at the market that's Buffalo. Buffalo market is not built to win a championship, right? You don't see champions in Buffalo, right? But this could be the biggest moment in the city's history this season because they're that good at the end of the day. So I think that all in all, Josh Allen is really killing it. And I think that the Bills as a whole are a team that you have to just keep looking out for because they're a team that's doing special things. Now, if the team could lose maybe 2 or 3 games this year, it's probably going to be them. But they do have a tough division as well, too. We can't front like the division's an easy one. The division is tough. It's difficult to deal with. So I think that when you get down to the nitty-gritty of things, it will work itself out. But I really, truly do like the way that this is going about for the Bills this season. They got one of the best receiver cores in the game. Their running game is not the best, and that's where they get things get a little sketch because they got to use Josh Allen as their key running back, and I think a lot of people get scared off with that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But all in all, right now, the Bills are running the show in the AFC 5-1, and this is a much needed break. And looking at their schedule, they should be good over the next few weeks. But I'm telling you, it's gonna be a very close season. A lot of teams that are looking real good right now aren't gonna be looking that good in the next 6 weeks. Okay, they'll all be getting clowned on, and this team was this record and that record. And now I look at them, and I'm looking at this now. You got 3 teams that have 4 wins. And see, the Jets are in that group. But will the Jets stay in that group? That's the biggest question. So, Josh Allen, MVP. I think that he's playing in the toughest division in football right now as well. So, it looks like it's going to be an uphill climb for Buffalo, but I think Buffalo is going to actually dominate, and this is going to make them better at the end of the day. All right, so we have that. And then, I got to get with and I know they'll say, but that's not the local team, but the Raiders are California, okay? All right, and for the little Charger fans that want to run up on my want to run up on my tweet yesterday about Chargers being middling and boring, I ain't lying. And you literally told me that San Diego didn't want their team. Everybody I know in San Diego wanted the Chargers to stay. They just wasn't gonna pay for the stadium. And can you blame them? No, because I wouldn't pay for no stadium for Dean Spanos either. The worst owner in all of football. Y'all thought Al Davis was bad. Al Davis was nowhere near as bad as Spanos, dude. Spanos got a Super Bowl type team, and they still figuring out ways to lose every single season. Nobody's into that. Nobody's into that at all. You know what I mean? And I think that the Chargers can be a team that can make their mark. But at the end of the day, they need a total, honestly, they need a total just upgrade just attitude. And they need to get a little bit more classier. I just feel like they just show up on Sundays at SoFi and, hope for the best. You know what I mean? And they're winning. They got a great quarterback. But how long is that quarterback going to be great? Because it seems like the coach is risking him hard. Come on. You don't lose to Jacksonville like that. You just don't. So are you guys really convinced that the Chargers are a good team? I'm not. And I think that pretty much they are a team that at the end of the day, they're just boring in LA. They were way more fun in San Diego. I just hate the fact that we can't call them the San Diego Chargers anymore. So it is what it is. Y'all look real pretty on Sundays, though. I feel y'all. Y'all wanted to have a brand new stadium. You wanted to have things look good, all that stuff. But they was gonna give all that to you in San Diego. You just had to figure out a way to get the owner out the room, but you didn't. So it is what it is. But let's talk about the Raiders real quick. Raiders 1-4. Will they be able to fix this up? And I'm talking about the Raiders because I've selected the Raiders as a team for me to cover at because I was heavy on them early. So I'm gonna stick with them until they're all the way out. They're 1-4 right now. They're looking to turn around their season this week against the Texans. Now the Raiders should have honestly, let's keep it real. The Raiders should be 3-2. Okay, at best, the Raiders should be winning way more games. They should have won the game against Arizona. They should have been able to win that game against the Chargers as well, too. And that they should have won that game against Tennessee. That one was one that really hurts. And the Chiefs game hurt, too. So you see the Raiders have what it takes to win football games. They just have to finish the game. This might be the best 1-4 team I've seen in a while because the thing is they haven't been whooped. If you got whooped in those 4 games, that's different. But if you were in those games, that shows you that you're ready for the long haul of the season. You know what I mean? And I know I'm trying to find some inspiration. I know the Raiders just don't look good, but the Raiders got a week off. Okay? They've been able to look at the tape. And I think the Raiders coming out the bye, going against a team like the Texans, who are playing good defense at this time. The Texans play really good defense, but the Raiders will figure out things to get into that end zone this weekend because the Texans should be a tired team as well, too. They've been fighting, scrapping hard and everything, but they don't have an A squad. They got a B squad. So when you B squad, when you playing that hard, you ready for a letdown. And when you like the Raiders, when you keep getting so close, you need a beat 'em up game. And I think this is their beat 'em up game. I think they're going to beat up the Texans this weekend. So, I like the way that one's playing out. And there it is. And I think that we're on to something here. So let's see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But this should be a lot of fun. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take another quick break. And when we get back, we'll be talking a little bit of boxing. And then we're going to be talking some tickets. All right. So you guys stay tuned. This is the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And this is the Primetime Angles Live. And I'll be right back.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing. with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back, and let's go ahead and jump into my next topic at hand, and that's going to be Devin Haney, 135 Kingpin at 23. Will he fight Loma next, or will he step up to 140? That is the question. Now, the way things work right now is he has a 3-fight deal, 3-fight partnership deal with Top Rank. So with that, what happens in that regard is he does owe him another fight, and all his fights were supposed to be fights that are going to be sellable for ESPN, and all of them, the first two did well. They did very well. This one is the one where they can do the pay-per-view because they have Loma and they'll have the venue. And the venue will probably be MGM, most likely. And all you people talking about Devin Haney couldn't sell a sandwich to a hungry bear, y'all are just mad. Okay. Devin was able to pull in a nice crowd over at Mandalay Bay. He was able to pull in a nice crowd over at MGM. Devin, it doesn't matter. He does bring a lot of people's eyes to it. A lot of people just don't want to give up the fact that he's the type of guy who can really dominate fights. You know what I mean? And dominate fights in a sense to where it gets one-sided. And they want to see him lose. They say that he has pillow fist, he has this, that, and the third. But if a guy keeps backing up and he don't want to keep getting punched, I don't know if he got some pillow fist. And if he's able to throw the punches consistently and accurately, and then avoid things, then, you know, at the end of the day, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's showing off the skills that he does have. Now, if he wanted to go ahead and knock you out, he can probably go ahead and knock you out. But Devin is in the business of humiliating you. He wants to make sure that the fight is going to be all the way clean for him. Okay. And we know he's not getting challenged by these guys that he's been fighting lately, but that doesn't take away from their status in the industry or in the game of boxing. Jojo Diaz was a tough fight, and he won it. Gamboa had a name, and he won it because Gamboa could have easily put him away. I know Gamboa was over the hill, but still Gamboa is Gamboa. Also, you know, and he was a vet. You know, sometimes things happen, and he did give that. And, you know, even though he got knocked out by Tank, it wasn't like Tank totally just blistered him, you know. And then also you have the fact that you have a very good fight that he had with Linares that I was at. And Linares is was a great champion. But Linares did give him some trouble a little bit in that fight. So that's what a lot of people look at, and a lot of people feel that Loma will have a chance because of that. Now, I think that Devin's best move is to probably take the Loma fight because that's where the money's at, and the money is not going to be the same at 140 until he gets a big fight. He has to have a big fight right away, and I think that big fight would be with Teofimo Lopez. So I think Teofimo needs to go get himself a belt, or they need to take advantage of one of these belts that's going to vacate since Josh Taylor went ahead and gave up like all the belts in 140. But at the end of the day, as I always say, 140 is a very good bridge division. 140 is not a division where you sit up there and say, I'm going to fight my whole career here. Okay, you know, unless you're like 5'5", 5'4", and it's just gonna be pointless for you to move on to 147. But at the end of the day, I think that Devin is probably top 5 pound for pound, simply because he has all the belts in a classic division. Lightweight is a classic division. It's not a bridge division, but it's also a stepping stone division as well too when you're 23 years old. Devin Haney will not be fighting his whole career at 135. I think Devin Haney, when it's all said and done, gets all the way up to probably middleweight, because he's not that much shorter than me, and I'm what, 5'8", 5'9". So I think possibly he could possibly get up to probably 154, 160 by the time it's all said and done, because he's still growing as well too, and he's only 23. So Devin Haney, best of luck to you. Another great fight, another great moment for you and your father, Bill. Two of the best in the business, and just remember that they sign their own checks. All these are partnerships with these promotions. None of these promotions run them. That's why people can't get mad about Devin Haney. That's why people get mad about Floyd, because when you got your business taken care of, you ain't got to worry about the next man with his hand in your pocket. And that's what the biggest problem in boxing is. All right, so let's go ahead and move on, and let's go ahead and talk about Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. Another big moment for Deontay. He goes ahead and he absolutely floors Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius is pretty much the guy that took Kawanaki off the radar, and that was a big upset. So a lot of people had this idea Helenius was a really good fighter, but y'all got to understand he got knocked out by Gerald Washington as well too. And so Deontay knew what he was doing here. This was an old sparring partner of his. Now, we have controversy because the people that don't like Deontay are trying to say that, okay, the fight was staged. There's no, that fight was not staged. What happened was that he dropped a quick right hand, and that ended the night. And that's what a quick right hand can do, is end the night. Everybody heard the leather hit that man's face. That man got knocked out. They said he walked into the punch. A lot of people walk into punches. He's not that coordinated of a fighter, okay? He's a big dude, but he's not that coordinated of a fighter. He's a slow starter as well, too. And that's why Deontay was able to take advantage of that, and that's why Deontay was able to get himself a big win in that spot. So, all in all, this was another Deontay delivered moment, highlight reel. So, a lot of people are loving this, and a lot of people are questioning it. But at the end of the day, though, Deontay is the guy that's going to get you paid in the heavyweight division if you're able to fight him. And that's why Usyk wants to go ahead and get this fight, because he can fight in the U.S. for this one, and he can go ahead and get the biggest payday that he has ever got. Could be one of the bigger heavyweight purses of all time when you put Deontay and Usyk in the ring together. And can Deontay beat Usyk? Of course. But Usyk will probably be even tougher than Fury for him in the skill boxing sense. But in the sense of, if he can drop the hammer on him like he does, he could put Usyk out. You know what I mean? And we know that Usyk will be going for a knockout. And we know that Deontay is not into getting into decisions. It's that simple. This is why Deontay Wilder is pay-per-view. This is why Deontay Wilder commands the attention that he commands, because he knocks people out. It doesn't matter if it was Joe Louis he knocked out or Joe Lewenza he knocked out. Dude knocks people out, simple and plain. That's what you watch the heavyweight division for. You guys are so busy talking about, well, he didn't fight. He didn't do that to so-and-so. Well, because that situation happened. He fights the guys that were put in front of him. And maybe it might be the other way around, where people don't want to fight him either. So that's how it goes, okay? So with that, Wilder went ahead, handled his business, got himself a good win, and he's back on the radar as the most popular heavyweight. You guys just had to deal with it. You know what I mean? Fury really got a big name in the U.S. because he fought Deontay Wilder. He beat Deontay Wilder twice. Let's stop saying 3 times, because Jack Reese, I was at the fight. All right. Y'all just got to shut up about this as well, too. I know you want to give Fury the fight because you guys are looking at it on your judge cards and things like that. But let me tell you something. The guy was dead, okay? And Jack Reese usually waves that type of situation off. But Jack Reese, in the back of his head, gave this guy another chance. And as you guys already know, it was well over 10 seconds as well, too. So let's go ahead and just say it was a draw, the first fight. We'll just leave it at that. And that he beat him twice after that. And literally, he was barely got out of the third fight. Deontay gassed out, but I think if Deontay doesn't gas out, he probably could have knocked his ass out later on in the fight as well, too. But it's all good. That's why there's possibly a chance for a fourth one, because there's still questions to be answered. You know what I mean? It's just great. It's great theater between those two, and we would love to see it again. I would. So there it is. All right. So let's get off of this and let's get to what everybody is here for, and that is going to be Talkin Tickets. And up first, we got the BETUS Bet of the day. It's going to be -9 on App State today. You guys can go ahead and sign up for BETUS today. If you do need a sports book, make sure if you are a first-time deposit for that book as well too, please use my promo code. Let me know, and I will hook you up with the PrimeTime Sports Investors exclusive card for the month, okay? But it has to be $100 or better, okay? It can't be, all right, Papa, put up $25. I'm just being honest, dude. Just make sure that you guys put something up there that you can bet with, okay? All right, so that's going to be the bet of the day on BETUS. You guys check them out. Very good website. And, if you love Bitcoin, they do pay through the Bitcoin as well, too. So, you guys have that option. All right, so that's the BETUS bet of the day. Number 9, -9 on Appalachian State. That game is going to be the Sun Belt Wednesday game. So there it is. Now let's go ahead and talk some tickets. Up first, let's go ahead and jump into the National League Championship Series Game 2. Game is going to it starts at 1:37 Pacific time. So that means it'll be on at 4 o'clock back east. So the Padres come in here 0-1. Maybe they were everybody's a little still hungover from beating the Dodgers and everything like that. But, it is what it is. And they got to keep moving. The Phillies, the hottest team in baseball right now, because they had to finish with a flurry at the end of the year. And they beat up on the Padres here at the end of the year. So they're really confident in what they can do. So, you got the under 6.5 here with the Phillies at the Padres to kick it off. And then also you have I'm going to give the Padres the lead in the first 5 innings, and you're going to get plus 120 on that one as well too. So you're getting some plus money. And I think that we'll stay under 6.5, but I think that we're going to get 2 runs in the first inning, and then we'll get ourselves a nice little pitchers duel. And then I got Snell under 6.5 Ks for the game today. So there it is with the NLCS game 2. And hopefully we get ourselves another really good game today, and it stays under as well too. But I like the way this ticket's looking. Let's see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. All right, so now we got the ALCS game 1. Yankees fresh off the win over Cleveland, then have to fly directly to Houston to go ahead and try to get game 1. I think that they do walk in here and they set their record straight and get themselves a nice little win here against the Astros, because Verlander really was bad against the Mariners. I think that if he comes in here and duplicates the same performance, the Yankees will jump on him earlier, and they'll probably get more runs off of him as well too. So, but 6 runs is hard to top, but man, I think that, I know they say Verlander doesn't have 2 bad starts in him, but he's old now. So you never know. Sometimes they got 2 bad starts in a row, then 2 good starts in a row. I think that they're going to be so relaxed and so chill going into this game that the Yankees take advantage of that, because the Yankees want to just keep moving and keep winning games. And that was a huge win last night. The crowd was into it. They were into it. So flying right into Houston today is always a recipe for disaster for the home team, in my opinion. All right, so I love the Yanks with the plus 160, so I already said that. Then we got the first 5 Yanks. I got them with the plus -5 as well too, so we got the plus 105 going for that one. And then we also had the under 1.5 first inning as well too. I think that we will get some pitching from Talon and from Verlander in this spot. And then we got the Yanks over 3 runs as well too in this spot. I think the Yankees do get themselves some runs in this game. I think that they get 4 or better really, I think they get 5 or 6. I think the Yankees are really going to have a good day today, to be honest with you. But we'll see. The Yankees been a letdown in spots as well too. All right, so let's go ahead, and we got the NBA Super High Five for tonight. We got the 12 games going in the NBA tonight. I selected 9 of them for you guys on who I feel can get us the money tonight. And up first, I got the NBA Super High Five 25-1 with the over 214 with the Cavs and the Raptors. And then we got the +7 with the Bulls tonight. And then also we have the under 226 with the Knicks and the Grizzlies. And then we have the Hornets money line -105. And then we wrap it up in the nightcap of the ESPN doubleheader with the Suns with the 4.5. So we're going to go ahead and see how these go. You know, there's no guarantees here, but I think that this is a pretty good card. You got 25-1 on this bad boy as well too. 20 gets you 500. 40 gets you 40 gets you 1,000. So you know, you go ahead and play it the way that you want to. But I set it up to where you can make you some dollars tonight. So there it is. There it is. NBA Super High Five 25-1. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the DogDay PK4 in the NBA, and I got to do it. We got the Pacers at home with the +100. We got the Pels going against Brooklyn on the road with the +130. You got to love Brandon Ingram, Zion going into that game. I think that they're overlooking them a little bit. I don't think that the Nets know each other well enough, and I think that the Pelicans want to go ahead and, the Pelicans want to go ahead and prove points. And then we have the Jazz in my big dog of the day. I know this is a big one, but can you really trust the Nuggets? The Nuggets lost in spots like this a lot last year. So I do like the Jazz here with the +230. And then we wrap it up with the Blazers at +120 tonight in a real toss-em-up game with the Kings. So there it is. There it is. That's Talkin Tickets for you guys today. And hey, I hooked you guys up. We got ourselves 4 different cards to play with today, and I got you guys a Bet Us special play as well. So I'll go ahead and I'll share that link as well too on my Twitter page. So you guys make sure if you saw this on the Twitter, retweet, share. If you saw this on Facebook, please share. And if you see it on YouTube, go ahead and share that as well too. So there it is. This is the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And man, as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving. And man, it is what it is at the end of the day. Let's just keep getting this money. Love you, Pops. I'm gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.